organisms and environment. Today we're going to focus on cell organelles. So today we're going to differentiate between structure and function in plant and animal cell organelles, including the cell membrane, cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm, and mitochondria. I'm going to share this link with you. It's a study guide on plant and animal cells. So when we look at the plant cell, okay, what we want to focus on are the differences. First of all, I'm going to talk about the differences between the plant and animal cell. So the first thing that's different in a plant cell is the cell wall. It's this tough outer rigid layer. It provides protection, shape, and support for the plant cell. So plants have a cell wall where animal cells do not. Another major organelle are the chloroplasts. So the chloroplasts are these organelles here, these structures. They trap sunlight to make food during photosynthesis. So chloroplasts are found in plant cells and not in animal cells. All the other organelles are the same. So let's review them. Both plant and animals have a cell membrane. It controls what goes in and out of the cell. So it's going to be this outer membrane here, as well as this one behind the cell wall. Okay. Next, we want to talk about the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a thick jelly-like fluid. It contains and supports organelles. The genetic material is your DNA. It's located inside the nucleus of the cell. Here it is in the plant cell. Here it is in the animal cell. Here inside the nucleus, it contains information needed to build new cells and the genetic code that's passed on from parent to offspring. That's where the DNA is located. The mitochondria. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cells. It releases chemical energy that's made during photosynthesis or stored as food. So both the plant and the animal cell have a mitochondria. I like to think of mighty mitochondria, the powerhouse. And again, the DNA is stored inside the nucleus. The nucleus is the center of the cell. It's the control center, contains genetic material responsible for directing most cell activities. Lastly, your vacuole, which is much larger in the plant cell. That contains water wastes and other materials. And here in the animal cell, the vacuole is much smaller. So pretty much we can say the plant and animal cell have membrane-bound organelles that are similar. Your greatest difference are here in the cell wall and the chloroplast, because we know plants can make their own food while animals cannot. And plants are rigid and stiff. That's why they have that cell wall on the outer layer. So if you'd like to go back to that study guide, it is there for you. Okay, so a start test question. Which table correctly describes the functions of the cell structures listed? Drag and drop the red circle over the correct answer. So here in letter A, we can see the vacuole. Yes, it stores water. A chloroplast does not remove waste. A chloroplast is found in plants, so we know they make their own food. So here we can say yes, produces sugar because it makes its own food. But down here you can see chloroplasts convert energy. So this could be a better answer. Oops, let's go down. This one we can cross out. The mitochondria is the powerhouse. So let's get rid of A and let's go to B. Regulates cell contents. That's not what a vacuole does. It stores water and wastes. So we could X out B. Over here, we can say that the vacuole stores water. Chloroplast produces sugar. Chloroplasts make their own food. Mitochondria converts energy. And then cell membrane regulates contents. C looks pretty good. Because down here your mitochondria doesn't produce sugar, your chloroplast produce sugar. Your mitochondria converts that energy into power, mitochondria. So your best answer choice is C, so you would drag and drop there. All right, characteristics of life. Cells are the smallest functional and structure unit of life. Organisms may be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, unicellular is one cell, or multicellular is made up of more than one cell. Cells have no organized nucleus. That's going to be a prokaryotic cells. It's like bacteria. They have no organized nucleus, while eukaryotic cells have an organized nucleus. That's what you are. You're a eukaryotic cell because inside your nucleus, your DNA is contained by a membrane. Whereas in a prokaryotic, like bacteria, it's not organized and the DNA is everywhere. So all organisms use blank to form cell functions. All organisms use energy to perform cell functions. Organisms respond to their surroundings. Organisms blank and develop. Organisms grow and develop. Organisms blank to continue their species. Organisms reproduce to continue their species. So go ahead and drag and drop on your copy. Okay, so here what we'd like to do is label the parts of an animal cell and then a plant cell. So I'm just going to minimize my slides. And let's just start with the first drag and drop. So a nucleus. Your nucleus is going to be the control center of the cell. It contains genetic information that determines traits. This is what a eukaryotic cell has, like you have. Your DNA is contained by that nucleus. So your cell membrane is going to be the outer side of the cell. It controls what moves in and out of the cell, takes in food, gases, and removes wastes. So here it looks like we're looking at a mitochondria. Your mitochondria is the powerhouse. Mitochondria provides energy for the cell. Okay, again, the powerhouse, it's the site of cellular respiration. Okay, cytoplasm is going to be that jelly-like material where your organelles are found, contains and supports the organelles. Then lastly, in an animal cell, you find vacuoles, but your vacuoles are much smaller than a plant cell. So stores water and waste and other material, helps provide shape and structure. Now let's compare the organelles of a plant cell. So all the organelles in a plant are similar to the animal cell except the cell wall. So I'm going to start with that one. Okay, so let's see. This looks like the cell wall. Your cell wall is the outermost layer of the cell. It shapes and protects and supports the cell. It's only found in plants. That's why plants are very stiff. Okay, and it would be all that green outer part of the plant cell here. Your second organelle that are found in plants only are the chloroplasts. And your chloroplasts are going to be green, okay, because they're filled with chlorophyll. And that green pigment traps the sunlight. It's the site of photosynthesis found in only plants. That's where the plant makes its food. We cannot make our food. We do not have chloroplasts. We are not green. Okay? So let's go over here to the vacuole. This is another difference. You can see that the vacuole here in the plant is very large compared to the animal. So it stores water, waste, and other material, helps provide shape and structure. Your nucleus is going to be your control center of the cell. That's where your genetic material is found. Your mitochondria, remember, is that powerhouse of the cell. It's the site of cellular respiration. It releases energy power. Okay, and then the cell membrane is just behind that dark green cell wall. So this lighter one would be your cell membrane. It controls what moves in and out of the cell, takes in food, gases, and removes wastes. And then lastly, your cytoplasm is that jelly-like fluid. It contains and supports the organelles. So again, the plant cell is very similar to the animal cell, only in these two organelles you'll find differences. Plants can make their own food using the chloroplasts, and plants have a cell wall, that rigid outer layer that protects and supports them. So lastly, we're just going to summarize our plant versus animal cell and the major differences. So again, looking at the plant cell, we see that cell wall. It's that tough, rigid outer layer. It provides protection, shape, and support for the plant. Okay, next we see these chloroplasts. Okay, plants use energy from the sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce sugar. Chloroplasts are only in plants and helps the plants capture energy from the sunlight. Your vacuole is going to be much larger in a plant cell. It stores water, waste, and other material. When the vacuole shrinks, the plant wilts. And then immediately when the plant gets the water, then the plant can be rigid again and stand upright. And if you'd like to play a song for your organelles to help you memorize the functions of those organelles, you can play it here. I hope you enjoyed your lesson.